So let's talk about a learning technique that is so powerful, it honestly feels like a cheat code for your brain. What if I told you that the secret to remembering more is actually to study less? Sounds crazy, right? Let's find out how.
Okay, I want to start with a question that's going to sound, well, totally backwards. What if the secret to building a really strong, durable memory isn't about fighting against forgetting all the time, but actually embracing it?
Okay, check this out. Let's look at the actual numbers. Imagine two students. They both study for the exact same amount of time, 4 hours. Student A does what we've all done. They cram it all into one super intense late-night session. But student B, they split up that same 4 hours into shorter chunks over a few days. Now, a week later, student A can only recall about 20% of what they studied, and student B, they remember a whopping 80%. That is a 4 times better result for the exact same amount of time.
So what's going on here? Well, this incredible phenomenon is called the spacing effect. And look, this isn't some new trendy hack. It is one of the most reliable, most well-documented findings in all of cognitive psychology, with over a century of research to back it up, which really makes you wonder, why do we all still default to cramming?
So how is this even possible? How can studying less often actually lead to remembering more? Let's dive into the mechanics of it and see why strategically forgetting a little bit is the real secret to long-term memory.
At its heart, spaced repetition is really just a smart scheduling system. The whole idea is to review information at these very specific increasing time gaps, timing each review for that perfect moment just before you're about to forget it.
You know, I love this analogy. Think of it like watering a plant. If you water it too often, you're just wasting water, right? The soil's already wet. But if you wait too long, the plant wilts and poof, the memory's gone. The whole goal is to give it that little bit of water, that reinforcement at the perfect moment, just as the memory is starting to fade. That's what makes it stronger for next time.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, it might look something like this. You learn something new today. Then you review it tomorrow. If you get it right, great. You can push the next review out to 3 days from now, then maybe a week, then a month. You see that pattern? The intervals just keep getting bigger and bigger. That is the engine that drives real, long-term learning.
And this brings us to this kind of wild idea that scientists call the forgetting memory paradox. The actual act of struggling to pull a memory from your brain, that struggle is the signal. It's like a big red flashing light for your brain that says, hey, this is important. Don't lose this one. Strengthen this connection. An easy recall is fine, but a difficult one is what really builds a strong memory.
Okay, but you might be thinking, is this for real? So let's look at the hard evidence from the lab that makes this technique so incredibly reliable.
You know, this idea has been around for a long, long time. It actually started way back in 1885 with a guy named Hermann Ebbinghaus and his famous forgetting curve. But modern research has just hammered this point home. For instance, in 2006, a massive review of over 300 different experiments confirmed that the spacing effect holds up under pretty much every condition you can imagine. And this isn't just for, vocabulary words. It works for complex skills too. In one amazing study, students learned how to solve math problems. The group that crammed all their practice together scored a 64% on the test later. But the group that spaced out the exact same amount of practice, they scored a 94%. That is the literal difference between a D and an A for 0 extra study time, 0.
So if spacing is so obviously better, why do we all keep cramming? Well, it turns out our brains basically trick us. It's called the metacognitive illusion. And it's just a fancy way of saying that our brain confuses what feels easy right now with what we'll actually remember later. When you cram, everything feels super fresh and easy to recall, and it fools you into thinking you've mastered it. But it's just a temporary illusion.
Okay, theory is great, but here's the best part. You don't need a PhD in psychology to use this stuff. It's actually really simple to apply. So let's walk through 3 super concrete ways you can put spaced repetition to work, like today.
This right here, this really gets to the heart of the trade-off. Cramming, or massed practice, it feels easy. It gives you this false sense of confidence right away, but it leads to super rapid forgetting. Spaced practice, on the other hand, feels harder. It feels like a struggle because you're forcing your brain to work. But that effort is exactly what builds a strong, durable, long-lasting memory.
And the cool thing is, there's a method for pretty much every learning style. If you're an analog person and you like physical flashcards, there's the Lightner box system. If you'd rather have an app do all the work, Anki is the absolute gold standard. And if you're trying to learn bigger concepts or skills, you can use a simple calendar blocking method.
Okay, so for those of you who love a physical system, the Lightner method is fantastic. You just need 5 boxes, or honestly 5 piles on your desk works too. All your new cards start in box 1, and you review that pile every single day. When you get a card right, it graduates to box 2, which you might review every few days. Get it right again, it moves to box 3 for a weekly review, and on and on. But here's the key. If you get a card wrong, no matter what box it's in, it gets demoted all the way back to box 1. It's like a simple physical algorithm for your brain.
Now, if you'd rather have a digital solution, the undisputed champion is a free app called Anki. It does all the complicated scheduling for you. The keys to success with Anki are really simple. 1. Create atomic cards, which just means 1 simple question and 1 simple answer per card. 2. Commit to just 10 or 15 minutes of review every day. It's super manageable. And 3, and this is the most important part, trust the algorithm. It knows when you need to see each card again better than you do.
Okay, now listen up because this is probably the most critical rule for making this actually stick. Start small. It is so tempting to get excited and create hundreds of flashcards on day 1. But if you do that, your daily reviews are going to explode and you'll burn out. The key to long-term success is sustainability. So aim to add just 10 to 20 new things per day. Remember, consistency beats intensity every single time.
All right, let's bring all of this together into one final powerful takeaway. A little rule you can use as your guide for everything you learn from now on. And just remember, spaced repetition is most powerful when it's part of a bigger toolkit. Spacing tells you when to study, but you need to combine it with things like active recall, which tells you how to study. That means actively testing yourself with things like flashcards instead of just passively rereading. And of course, never ever forget about sleep. That's when your brain actually does the hard work of locking in everything you've learned.
So if you only take one thing away from this entire explainer, please let it be this simple rule. Forget a little to remember a lot. That feeling of mental strain when you're trying to recall something, that's not a sign of failure. It is the sound of learning actually happening in your brain.
So, I'm going to leave you with a challenge. What is one thing you really want to master? A new language, a programming skill, a professional certification? Just think about what that is, and then ask yourself, how can you start learning it with spaced repetition starting today?